My name's Chris Molinar, and in this video today, I'm going to be sharing with you my review on eXp Realty after being here for 3 years. Now this is my 10th year in the real estate business so far. I originally started my career at a Realty Executives franchise here in Saskatoon. I was there for approximately 3 years. And in that process, I learned how to sell real estate. I built the foundation in my real estate business. I became a top producer. I hired my first full-time staff person while I worked there. But I did realize that there was a ceiling on what I could accomplish as a solo agent in real estate. But I also realized that there were some challenges to building a team or getting involved in the brokerage side of the business when you're starting in real estate. From that point forward, I moved over to a local independent real estate company here in Saskatoon, and I spent another 3.5 years there where I learned a little bit more about the brokerage side of the business, and I got a little bit more involved in online marketing. During that time, I learned about eXp Realty back in 2017. My good friend AJ introduced me to this concept, and I literally couldn't sleep. The only problem was it wasn't available in my local market here in Saskatoon. I literally had to wait another 2.5 years for eXp to come to Saskatoon. When I first found out about eXp, there was only 3,000 agents in the company total. I understood the business model right away and I knew that I could get behind it, but like I said, it wasn't available in my market. AJ, however, my buddy that I talked to, I met him at a Brendan Burchard mastermind. He had, I think, 80 realtors in his group when I originally started talking to him. And he was really excited about helping me build this business and get involved. And considering he'd only been in the business for, I think, 3 years selling houses, and he'd moved over to eXp, and within a very short period of time, he had 80 realtors in his group, which I thought was pretty amazing. It's not something that I'd ever heard of in the real estate business of anybody accomplishing anything close to that. So from 2017 till 2019, that was about 2.5 years. I watched AJ go from 80 realtors to about 1,500 realtors when I finally had the opportunity to join here in Saskatoon. When I first joined, however, it was literally just me. It wasn't a whole big group of agents. It wasn't me and all my friends. It wasn't me and my team. It was literally just me putting my neck out there, attaching my name to a real estate company that nobody in my local market had ever heard of. As a matter of fact, most people were making fun of the fact that I was associated with this company that nobody had ever heard of. So I did manage to talk to a couple agents that I had known in the business that I'd done transactions with or that I'd been involved in real estate with over the years. And in short order, at the end of my first year, I think that there was 15 agents total in my group. And I think I had maybe 2 or 3 people that I had personally brought in to eXp. In that period of time, we had a lot of backlash from the local brokers trying to say eXp was a bad idea or a bad concept. Of course, because these brokers had watched other eXp agents in other markets totally get huge momentum, which is where we're at now today, which is really, really exciting. The following 12 months in eXp, our group had grown from about 12 agents to 34 agents at the end of my second year at eXp. And at that time, I'd still only personally brought in, I think, 4 agents. But at that time, I started to earn some significant, money and revenue share within the following couple months. And so I decided to invest a little bit more time into helping grow this business at eXp. For the first 2 years, I'd really only invested probably about 10 hours per week part-time in revenue share component of eXp because I have been intentional about growing it because I've seen what AJ's been able to do with this, knowing that this is a viable option to help build leverage, duplication, and freedom with this business model. So the following 6 months, our group had gone from 32 or 34 agents, I believe it was, to it was literally double the following 6 months, around 64. Now, October 1st was my 3rd year anniversary, and I can proudly say now that we're at 89 realtors total group, and across the province of Saskatchewan, there's over 100 agents at eXp here now. My group, however, is in several different provinces. We're in Saskatchewan, Alberta, Manitoba, Ontario, Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, and also have a group that's growing in Texas as well. I also have 1 agent in Mexico. So this is a really cool opportunity to be able to expand out of your local market. I was always frustrated because I reached a ceiling in my business. You get to a point in real estate where you become a top producer, and if you want to grow thereafter, you have to either bring on a number of buyer's agent, and there's always a revolving door of agents. They're either not motivated enough to want to run really hard, or they're very motivated and they will soon outgrow what it is that you have to offer them in a traditional real estate team structure. And so what I found with eXp was, as we continue to duplicate and grow within our organization, we had the opportunity to create leverage within our real estate transactions because we had other options of people that were collaborating with each other in my local market that we could split deals with and build a real estate team structure, which allowed me to invest my time in working on the business rather than working in the business. At a traditional real estate team structure, you either have to take on significant overhead to feed one agent as a buyer's agent full time, which I didn't want to do. There's a whole bunch of risk in taking all that additional overhead to feed somebody leads on a full-time basis, whereas here we have a bit of a hybrid structure where my agents have opportunity to build their own business as we support each other's businesses. They support my transactions as well. You have options here. The only other way I saw in the traditional real estate structure to build and grow leverage as a team is to work more hours per day. And I don't know about you, but I didn't really see a huge advantage in working 80 plus hours per week. I've worked 80-hour weeks in the past, and I know that that's not something that I could sustainably do for any long period of time. Then I looked at the franchise style brokerage model or the independent brokerage model. And with the franchise style model, you have to take on thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in overhead per month, as well as you got the logistics, the liabilities, the trust accounts, the issues, the complaints, etc., that comes with a traditional real estate company as a franchise. And you also have hundreds of thousands of dollars either in debt or capital that you have to outlay to start a franchise in a new market, which doesn't really seem desirable for most real estate agents that are just focused on selling their next house or building their business for that next step. The independent brokerage, however, you can start it by yourself, but almost every single independent real estate company that I've ever looked at, if you were to take the broker owner, who by the way is usually still actively in production forever, if you remove that person from the equation, it's usually not a viable business model. So I looked at that and said, that is an option. Although I live in a very small market, I'm going to be limited to expanding my business within the community. There's only 600 or 700 agents in my market. And not only that, it's not something that has an exit strategy attached to it. Now, as I'd mentioned, my buddy AJ, he'd grown his business to the point where, regardless of whether he's involved, it continues to grow by hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of agents because he's got leaders within the company that are also excited to help build and grow this business model. I myself now have several leaders in my group who are excited to continue to grow this business model regardless of whether I stay involved or not. Now, what I can say on a quick and easy way to wrap up on eXp Realty is it's absolutely been a game changer. I've also been an Icon Award winner for 2 years at eXp, which is a total of $32,000 in stock awards. But what's cooler than that is because I was not afraid to put my neck out there and to be associated with a business model that people didn't totally understand yet in our local market. Within my group of 89 agents, there's been hundreds of thousands of dollars in stock awards that have gone to those agents and their families. And rather than tell you why I think it's so great, what I can tell you for sure is there's a lot of agents in my group that sell more houses per year than I do. And there's a lot of agents in my group who have been in the business for a lot longer than I have, and they can attest to the fact that they have literally never had more fun and they have never been more excited about their real estate career than they are right now since they moved over to eXp. And I can tell you confidently that every single agent in my group would attest to that. And that is strictly the business model, because at eXp, you have opportunities that you don't have at other real estate companies, and you actually have the ability to get ahead in this business. I always say new agents will spend the first 2 years working as hard as they can just to get into the real estate business, and then you'll spend the rest of your career trying to get out. And that's only a bit of a joke when I say that, but there is a lot of truth to that. So if you have questions about eXp, drop a comment down below or look in the link in the description to book into my calendar. And thanks for being here today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you on this video next. See you there.